Hi everybody, I'm here at a campsite. I'm trying to find some sort of mythical creature, you know, like a yeti, or a unicorn, or someone who could fill that ever-growing void of loneliness in my heart, you know, something ridiculous like that. Of course, that includes leprechauns, and since it's almost St. Patrick's Day, I thought, hey, let me look into one of the most beloved leprechauns of all time. To be fair, there's not many iconic leprechauns, though. Did you hit your head when you were young? So the Lucky Charms are your generic cereal, a beloved pioneer of the marshmallow cereal genre. A type of cereal where a quarter of the box is scrumptious and the rest tastes like below average sand. Please don't ask how I know what sand tastes like. Lucky Charms mascot, conveniently named Lucky, is a very generic Irish stereotype. All the cliches rolled into one tiny green man. Other than the potato obsession, Lucky has everything you would expect. Redhead, leprechaun, clovers, severe alcohol problems, and of course, a silly little accent. Within a few commercials, you can already see that this is a child's perspective of an Irish person. Apparently, Ireland hates even being associated with Lucky Charms, which I totally get. Not only do I live in America in fear of things like the baby mop, why this exists and this could be at my Walmart, but I'm neighbors with icky Canada and their flag's a leaf. Ugh. I actually have no issues with Canada, they're fine. For now at least. But that made me ponder a bit. Where would these commercials take place then? You would think it's in Ireland on account of Lucky being the most well-known Irishman of all time, but I'm pretty sure he would be publicly executed for single-handedly flanderizing an entire country. This is the amalgamation of anti-Irish propaganda. Plus, we also see that the children in these commercials never have an Irish accent. They speak like North Americans of some sort as they hunt down Lucky, so I would say it's safe to assume that they are on the North American coastline. This is the main component of a Lucky Charms commercial, by the way. Leprechauns are sneaky little rascals, tricksters, relying on mischief. A traditional leprechaun will have a pot of gold that you can only obtain if you catch the sneaky tiny green bastard, and then utilize former USSR torture methods, all for them to supposedly tell you where their pot of gold resides. Now, instead of a life-changing amount of gold that could easily solve a ton of problems in your life, probably generational wealth actually, Lucky gives out lukewarm, soggy bowls of mediocre cereal that you can get for roughly $4 at your local Kroger. This isn't worth hunting down the mascot character. This is easily the worst way to get the cereal. Now, since about the 1960s, the rules of Lucky and his charms have been about the same. If you find him and threaten his life, in exchange, he's obligated to provide you with some Lucky Charms. And he takes pride in those marshmallows, man. Throughout the decades, he's utilized his so-called marshmallow magic to at least give him powers based on the marshmallows in the cereal. For example, the stars allow him to fast travel and the red balloons can transform into hot air balloons. Now, first off, this power is broken. In one of the commercials, he's grieving a lost force and declares his magic isn't strong enough to bring them back. Instead, he creates a tree marshmallow, and in terms of cannon power, that's a contradiction. If you have marshmallow trees, you should be able to make trees out of the marshmallows. Congratulations, Lucky McLucky Charms. I already don't like you or anything about you. An average commercial across the decades will follow very similar rules. Anywhere from 2 to 7 children, though usually only like 3 or so, will spot Lucky, be sneaking up on him, or the ad will start mid-chase. Most of the time, they successfully obtain Lucky's half-eaten cereal that's absolutely been left out for too long. I wouldn't say it's worth it. They do, though. Then each of the kiddos take a few bites, and then Lucky takes back the used cereal for some reason. At that point, there's absolutely no point in doing that. It's not your cereal anymore. You're just spreading germs and causing problems. When I was this age, I didn't have much time to hunt leprechauns. No, I had school, I had extracurriculars, and I had family obligations. So when I had free time, I was playing Croc 2 or Croc 1. Not to mention, children of this age usually lack some level of empathy on account of being unfiltered, unfeeling former embryos for the time being. So not only are these children either ignoring their obligations or utilizing their little free time to find the magical cereal man, but everyone at school is going to make fun of them for being the kids who try to find the magical cereal man. And this isn't like a side hustle or some weekend part-time job. The manhunt for Lucky is a physical, mental, and social commitment. The effort to jump Lucky's ass for a cereal that you can mass purchase for $500 and get 48 boxes, that's an objective loss. Actually, it's way more expensive. Lucky Charm inflation is very real. You are wasting your time for $4. When it comes to finding Lucky, the hours are long. These kids literally chase Lucky to Narnia and back, going to unknown realms and cliff sides, quite literally risking their lives for Lucky Charms of all things. Is it worth it? Is it really the way you want to go out for this? It's not even a life-changing amount. It's like a breakfast. 8 hours later, you're gonna be hungry again. It's a lackluster breakfast. And the fact you're only getting one bowl and have to split it among multiple people, that's not a satisfactory level of breakfast. At a caloric scale and a nutritional one, there's no point It's not worth it ever. Just buy the goddamn cereal. You're harassing a man who probably deserves it, actually. What's Lucky doing any of this for? He has an entire factory for cereal, along with a ton of other buildings for enhancing his marshmallows, because let's be honest, nobody's hunting down the beige of sadness. It's for the marshmallows. Not even good marshmallows, just marshmallows. He seems to care about each and every marshmallow, though, even choosing to try murdering the children in his factory by making it fall apart. Again, I don't think that's worth it. I mean, the marshmallows are alive. Well, maybe not all of them. Maybe all of them, though. In newer commercials that have the coloring of gas station dumpsters, when Lucky isn't being chased down by a coordinated team determined to withhold and consume his most valuable assets, he's honing his abilities and bullshit, hanging out with sentient versions of his marshmallows. The fact they try to make these things marketable characters is just... oh, you tried. I don't like it. Besides creating life that did not ask nor deserve to live, Lucky has also befriended other creatures of myth. When chased down by children and using some of his black magic, such as cloning and shrinking himself, why doesn't he just make the marshmallows bigger? I hate him. If Lucky can use his magic to reanimate his schmallows, then wouldn't that mean he could be able to create more of those specific animals? Why isn't he making, like, marshmallow unicorns that would help him escape every time? He has access to dragons. Why isn't he just making a million dragons? I mean, there's a diamond marshmallow. He could easily just disrupt the global economy. I mean, he looks like he would. It's a food mascot. They always got something wrong in their titanium craniums. One time, a younger Lucky went to space and befriended aliens, and now Lucky McLucky Charms is officially a cosmic-level threat. And why stop at one universe? Intentional or not, Lucky Charms has a multiverse. By an unfortunate technicality, Lucky is canon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a Loki variant based on a show that came out when people were only kind of tired of the MCU, instead of really tired of the MCU, disguises himself as Lucky in order to escape the time police. Does this amount to anything? I sure hope not. I hope it's like the Crocs, the shoes that exist for some reason, where it will never be acknowledged or in any light ever again, faded to nothingness in history. Just like all of us eventually. Nope, I'm not gonna add that to the script. That's a little bit too far. Actually, I might. It's a little starstruck. What does Lucky do any of this for? I'd really appreciate it if Lucky Charms finally took a step back as advertising and developed a proper overarching complex narrative. Because if you're gonna earworm that one rhyme into kids' heads, at least try to expand the frontal lobes of the children at home. By the way, this rhyme, this made me question my intelligence. It still does. It goes, hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and balloons, hourglasses, rainbows, and tasty red balloons. That's the rhyme. That's the rhyme I'm used to. That's the rhyme that they kept using. I always forgot horseshoes was there, and I wish the guy who chose to rhyme blue moons and balloons a very rotten Sunday morning. They don't deserve that much punishment for that one. It's just that rhyme has been ingrained in my head and partially responsible for the slippery slope that has led to me making cartoon videos on the internet to pay off my college tuition. The only thing more aimless than these commercials is my life path. At one point, Lucky straight up got replaced as the mythological freak of this cereal. Maybe he started going to therapy or tried to make peace with Ireland, which I'm sure went great. For a few years, there was a wizard named Waldo. I'm gonna be real, he's actually somehow worse than Lucky. Instead of chasing down this man for his bowl of garbo, Waldo the wizard would lose his Lucky Charms, leaving anyone up to grab them. I would hate going through forests to look for cereal. I would argue the animals would probably just eat it if he lost a bowl of cereal. And assuming the kids are anything like me, the children yearn for a good manhunt. So me personally, I would still hunt Waldo. I don't care if it's a leprechaun or a wizard. I know I was against the kids now, but honestly, I get it. I get it. I don't like either of them. And who cares enough to begin with? This is a useless character once again. It never amounts to anything greater. This is the worst wizard I have ever seen and covered on this channel. So far, wait until Wizard 101. That is the Olympics of bad wizards. Wow, a collection of short commercials don't make any goddamn sense when it comes to storytelling? Who woulda, coulda guessed? So, I mean, does any of this amount to anything on a greater scale? Well, I mean, Lucky Charms have been around for decades at this point. Do you really think they've tried to add any significant lore? No, it's a coin flip if something has an intricate and developed story. I'm more interested in why any of this happens, or the functionality of the content itself. Like, Lucky spends decades starving the hungry children in wherever the hell these commercials take place. My guess is Maine. It feels like Maine. It just does. But then he gets upset when nobody celebrates his birthday, when all he does is run away from people trying to socialize with him. Why does Lucky have no friends? I still don't know why anyone would hunt him unless there is a famine, but they would look famished and they would be way more aggressive if there was one. And even then, he only has marshmallows because nobody's gonna be eating the below average sand food. I tried with Lucky Charms, but straight up, I don't know. I've lost sleep over this little ginger freak. I'm not gonna let him take anything else from me. Lucky Charms are friggin' yucky, dude. I lose self-respect eating food when this thing's looking at me, grimacing with joy on the box. I don't like the food or the man representing it. I understand why the Irish don't like him. By the way, Ireland, does potatoes count as foreign food if I get them from Ireland? Today's just full of questions. I guess we'll never know. We will never know if Lucky will ever find love. We'll never know his tragic backstory where his parents died from being burned at stake or something, and we'll never know anything about the parents who let these children skip school to find and possibly befriend a strange green man in the woods. If they found out some of the things these kids are doing to Lucky and some of the places Lucky led them to, and the fact that they're spending school nights hunting down cereal, I feel like there would be lawsuits or grounded kids, or both, but I really do think Lucky would dodge a potential trial. He seems like he would. Neither the kids or Lucky are in the right. I think they're all uniquely wrong for the ways they act. It's embarrassing. In conclusion, I think Lucky is an incel. Well, guys, the campfire smoke's been blowing in my face for at least the past 6 minutes, and I don't really feel like moving over to that side. Also, I'm very insecure about facing you guys from the left, so I'm just gonna call it quits. I hope you enjoyed, and... Oh! Hey, stupid small children at home who probably already commented, I'm eating Lucky Charms while watching this. Do you see the mythological monster? That's right. That's a Bigfoot, probably. Oh, man. I bet getting bowling shoes with stompers like those are pretty tricky, am I right? Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go.